copies of the airport improvement plan here. You have one already.
I'll let Dan get them.
There you go.
You want a copy of it now? This meeting is called to order. Roll call.
Carr,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Bradson.
Here. Public comment inverted on this, but it will be down before the adjournment. It looks like nobody signed up for a public comment, but it will be before the adjournment. Certification of compliance with the open meeting laws. The door unlocked? Don's gonna certify that. Is the door unlocked? What? The door has to be unlocked.
You can easily lock yourself in.
Okay, the minutes have to be approved for May 29th, June 9th, special meeting June 12th, special meeting June 23rd. Can we do those all at once? The minutes? Okay.
Motion to approve all the minutes, include, they get this right along. May 29th, June 9th, June 12th, June 25th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes, May 29th, June 9th, June 12th, and June 23rd. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Go ahead. Okay.
The only thing we have on the June 9th minutes was Farner was misspelled.
June 9th, Farner?
It's at the bottom,
All this correct spelling.
F-A-H-R-N-E-R.
Okay, the June 9th minutes will be changed to reflect the correct spelling of Mr. Farner's last name.
And on the June 12th meeting, my motion was to appoint Winona Bradson, not the nominator. That's it.
Okay, the minutes for May 9th, June 9th, special meeting June 12th, and special meeting June 23rd have been approved with the following amendments. Mr. Farner's name is correctly spelled, and the appointment instead of nominate will be in the June 12th minutes, appointing Winona Bradson to the position. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Treasurer's report is there. Okay.
No, there's discounts, that's.
Okay, first of all, I have a question. Why is there still so much money in the tax account?
Because it got transferred, if you look at what I gave you today.
The tax account?
Yeah, it's been transferred.
You
keep 1,500. There's about $1,500 in it, 1,600 in the tax account. The balance has been transferred to the general fund. Doesn't show up on here though.
No, that's what it
It's
is.
on the one I gave you, or I printed out from today.
The profit and loss
Yeah.
budget versus.
Will be in the general here with the 145, right? No,
No,
it's
that's.
not in there.
No. That's the LTIP.
Yeah.
So.
It shows up, it has been transferred, though it's in the general account.
On that paper, that's why I ran you another one.
Okay, all right.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Okay.
What is the balance in the general fund right now then?
You have it right in, what I have here is what was in on the 30th of June. That's what's in here. I gave you the printout from, I guess I didn't write that down, but it should be in there, what's in the.
This is as of July 14th. Did you transfer the money before?
Yeah.
Okay. It's
This
transferred before July
is today,
14th.
I printed this out right before I came up here, so you could look and see where we're at. Because the 91,000, part of that got transferred in. When you look at what's under the general tax account, see it's like showing there should be 238. If you look, now we're.
Right, that was the total that was levied, but where is the balance in the checkbook?
Well, that's after this part there, that's why I don't have that dollar amount, that's why I printed this up, right here, there's 100, is that 167, I can't read it.
It's 167.
So that's what was in there, and then it got spent down, that's what was put in there. This is the amount that still is in the budget, so that's what is in there right now,
There's 238 in the budget.
budget.
In the budget, but what's in the checking?
The one, well, I can't say that, the 167 is what got put, it was what was in there, but then I wrote some other checks out.
It's
But I'm
approximately
saying-
150 then, right?
But
So
what
the
you don't
balance in the
understand
checkbook-
is that on the 30th, the money was still in the tax account. So what I have there is at the end of last month. This I gave you so you could see where we're at today, because I transferred out the money. I hadn't transferred it on the 30th of June. So that's what I had all my figures.
Okay, I see
as.
you put 31,000 into the special assessment.
Mhm.
And so that was roughly 60,000, 59,000 you transferred into the general fund.
And then there's another.
Where does it
roughly
show that? It doesn't show that here though.
Because it added it up, it totaled, that's just totals. It's not showing it in a detail. All it is the totals.
You know, it would make it a whole lot easier for me at least to follow on financial guru if you actually had this stuff laid out so we can see what you did, when you did it, when you made, when you made transfers, when you made
Well, I would've-
deposits.
Right, but we're still on the month before, this was done after. I gave that to you as an after thing. This was what it was on the day that the month closed
So
out.
on the end of June,
Mhm.
you're saying that this is what it was, but this month it is not.
Right,
Well, you have the checkbook here, what's the balance in
I
after the
don't
last
have the
check?
checkbook, I don't have a checkbook, it's in the computer. There's no physical checkbook, the checks are written out on the computer now.
Okay,
I can give you that all, but like I said, that's not what's really being approved, the June treasurer's report is being approved. And in June, this is what was in it.
This is as of 30th of June.
okay.
I can run you a whole detailed report if you want that, and everything.
All I wanted to know what was in the checkbook.
Well, I was printing out checks, I guess I didn't even you know, like I said, I printed that out, figuring it would show you what was in the budget and what was used up on the budget already, or what was in it.
So all these checks that are on here that you've got listed as checks, this is all stuff that you mailed. That's gone. It's, those checks were co-signed by Larry and they were mailed.
They were June, they were
I
May
understand
bills.
that. I
Yeah,
understand.
correct.
So where are the June bills? Do we get to see the June bills? I mean,
Yeah, I guess I, oh, actually, I do that one. Bring them.
Well, these were the bills that were paid in June. aren't
but
they?
they were the May bills. You just-
No.
Correct.
No.
No, these are June bills.
Yeah, I have July too, so.
No, these aren't May bills, these are June, these are
These
the end of the
were
month.
bills that were due at the end of June. You're saying.
Or during the month.
They were due during the month of June, so this is as of June 30th.
Here's what's been paid so far in July. And this is your checkbook now, Ed. It's in the computer, this is how it runs. It's everything that came in and out. So this here is between May 31st and June 30th, what's written out there. And I don't wanna do that.
Mhm.
Those aren't, I have the real ones in a different file. Yeah, that's a copy that I stuck in there. Because there's two copies of the check.
Minutes?
treasurer's report. That they have to do.
It has to do with the treasurer's report,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay. One question I have is I know that part of the audit was a recommendation to be backing up the records. And I think the board authorized you to buy something? Yeah, okay.
It's in there.
Okay,
Yeah, I just happen to have it in here because
well, is
I
it
leave
being
it here.
stored here? You
Yeah.
leave it here. Good. And I went through the transaction detail you gave me, and one thing that was confusing to me is that there are sometimes that things are written under a specific account, check, and then the next time it's just flopped in as a general, like it's not put into the sub-account.
Yeah,
So
I
isn't that gonna
bought
make
that
it
and I
very
moved that.
confusing when you,
Yeah, are you talking like Larry's thing?
like Larry's check?
I
just-
found that and I moved it.
Okay. And, a real personal issue I am, apparently I'm the only resident that's ever charged for open records requests.
No, that's not true. Laura's been charged and.
It's not listed as a, the only name that came up that I saw was me and then a whole bunch of other, like, agencies and things.
Laura
I've
paid, she
paid.
hasn't gotten anything recently.
Okay.
I've also paid.
Fidelity.
Donna's.
Yeah,
no.
I've paid.
And Jim's paid in the past.
Yeah.
I don't see him listed in
He hasn't really
here. And under deposits,
under the, huh?
you've got records request fees, you've got Fidelity Land Trust,
Right.
a bunch of times you got me.
Well, how far back does it go?
This probably,
This year.
it
January.
would have been
This
last
year.
year when
Yeah.
they got charged.
Oh, okay, so they haven't got anything.
They haven't gotten
Okay.
anything, they've been
No.
slacking.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's equitable.
it's, records request for their taxes.
Okay.
That's what all those are, is they asked me if there's any special assessments.
Sure.
So I told them I was charging them $20,
Okay.
so they send it.
Okay. And we got income from Stafford Rosenbaum, why did they pay us? I thought we had to pay them.
Because they got over.
There was an overpayment. And so
And they gave us some money back on something,
there was an overpayment.
But it's listed under miscellaneous income.
because I didn't know exactly where to put it. Wasn't like it was a legal fee yet, you know.
Should have
It's
gone into the
exactly
legal
like
account,
the-
that's exactly what it is. It should have gone into the legal account to boost it back up to where it was. It was 23,2610, so it's a sizable amount. That's the basis of my questions.
Okay.
Do you, well, as long as we're talking about the legal fees, have you made a subcategory to put the legal fees for the roads in the roads?
Yeah. If you look, there's a road up there.
And where does it say in Public Works, that's where the highway stuff is? There's nothing about legal fees.
I have it under legal fees road.
It should be under highway funds, Public Works. And do you reconcile the checkbook to the statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't hit reconcile until it reconciles to 0.
So the checkbook is correct to the penny,
Yes.
okay?
Otherwise, you have a discrepancy, and if you go into the discrepancy report, it says it doesn't have it.
So, motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report, subject to audit.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the treasurer's report subject to audit. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Highway, you're on time.
Yeah, right on time.
So we're late.
Got the mowing done, and I know today was out doing a little spot potholing here and there, so we're gonna catch a few that are sprung up over the springtime.
Yeah.
Or since spring, so midsummer. And that's about it.
There's a real bad one up on Zion Road that I noticed.
Yeah, I think you might have got that one today.
Oh,
I know it was up on Hooper's Iron or
If
anything.
you did Hooper sign, that's where,
That's most
that's
of it.
where it was,
that's
right?
what
Yeah.
one of the bad ones.
Right. Other than that, that's,
That's it.
that should be much it for now.
Okay, no news is good news.
Right.
Fire department. I guess that was Deb's.
Oh, I have,
Ah.
something. The state of Wisconsin did an audit, so I have a correspondent from them. And the audit was completed. The audit was triggered because some reports weren't filed. And so they filed it. We also received our 2% fire dues money, which is in the, for
We
like.
received it?
Yes, we, well, I had to file some papers on that too, and then they told me we could either give it to the fire department, or we can put it towards, our fire department that, so I said we'll put it towards our fire department cost. So it's kinda gotta be designated for that. So that's what I had to sign, but the audit passed. So, Marshall sent me, Chief Marshall was sent a copy of the state's report.
As long as we're on the fire department, that was Deb Mules. She was a liaison to the fire department, so I suspect we'll put it on the agenda, and Ms. Bradsett will get that duty next month. Her and Dave are pretty close. So we'll take care of it. Okay, airport? Don?
Yeah, I got the 6-year plan, but we'll talk about that later. But I fixed your exit light there, it was burnt out.
Thank
The
you.
bulbs are laying right there,
We're legal now?
I think so.
Okay.
So we hold that your,
You turn in a bill?
airport account for $8.
Yeah, I gave it to Wendy, I charged it to the airport account on the hardware store.
Okay. Well, you know where we live. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it till we get to the 6-year plan.
Okay. Blue Spring Lake?
Nothing new to report.
Building inspector? Did you get any more money from us?
I did.
Good.
Unfortunately, I didn't grab it, it's in the thing, but
Okay.
he had a total of $3,535, and I believe we get 10% of that. So it was like $350
Okay.
some dollars that we received from him. And then I have several building permits on their correspondence.
Okay.
That was separate from that one.
Okay.
So,
Read it in correspondence. Okay, correspondence.
very funny. Chris Lathrop, he has, I don't know what this is, so he's building a airplane hangar. Thank you. Wow. Airplane hangar.
Yeah, there's a gentleman building an airplane.
Oh, that's Chris, so he has a building permit for that.
Okay.
Rick Poplinski is building a garage. And Scott and Sherry Schreiber are building a house and a garage. And so they've got a permit. And then, there's the permit that the building inspector sent. And, oh, I guess I could tell you that was for. So, it's a detached garage, and it's, oh, that's Rich Poplinski. I don't know why he's on here twice, but, because I got it from the county. Then, the county sent us a letter that James Schultz is now in compliance with them. So he's the one who had the illegal,
He put in an illegal wall on the lake and a bunch of illegal stuff, and apparently they took it out.
right, and so the county said they would like
They
to
take it
thank
out?
him for his cooperation. And Todd,
Kaczynski.
yes, he was approved. Actually, that's for his meeting, and then I just received today his approval. And then Lake County Classic Bike Ride is having their bike ride Saturday, July 26th. And I'll get back to Ed. I think I gave you a copy
Yeah.
though already.
I've talked to him already.
And we received a correspondence from the International League of Cities. You probably can't afford their cost, $200. Since we're not a city, I'm just reading because we got it. If you want to look at it. And I think that is,
We can forward that to the village.
and then we got the notice from the state on 2014's full value notice for manufacturing and personal property. And that's
That's it? Okay. New business, discussion and action on the resolution for the 6-year airport improvement plan. Do you have a resolution there?
Yeah, this number has to be changed,
Okay.
because he has a lot.
Should I read it, or we just pass it?
You could just make the result.
Resolved by the town board of Palmyra that the attached list of proposed improvements are in the best interest of the Palmyra Airport. And they are on that list that we handed out. If anybody doesn't have a list, they can have my list.
Does everyone have one?
So I guess we would need a motion to accept to pass the resolution, correct? A second.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the resolution to sign the 6-year plan and send it to Madison, approving it. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. So the plan will be signed by the board, and Don will send the 6-year plan to the Bureau of Aeronautics. Discuss possible action on airport hangar. There was an elector meeting on Saturday, and there was a vote to authorize the board to put a building on town land. And that's what this new business item is about, an airport hangar. Does anybody have a motion?
I'll make a motion to go ahead with Don building the hangar for the airport as was proposed in the meeting last Saturday.
It will be a combination of grant and
And
sponsor fee,
Sponsor
which
fee.
the airport will provide.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to authorize Don to contact the state and the bidder and put the plan forward to spend the grant money and the airport money that they have, their share of it, to build a hangar at the airport. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Discussion and action on the donation to the Village of Palmyra Park and Rec. You have-
It's
you
my
have-
understanding that, should we discuss it first or make a motion?
No, we'll discuss it.
Okay. That Bill Ween is asking for his
It's
motion.
not a motion.
Pardon?
Okay,
If
motion.
it's on the floor, it should, we discussed it, she has a motion.
Okay.
Okay, motion.
Your motion to discuss.
Motion to discuss, right? Tom?
Well,
Motion for action?
motion,
To discuss and possible action?
no.
Well, there's a motion.
I would
to make
just,
the
let's do make a
donation.
donation.
You can,
Yeah, I
motion for the donation and
Right.
then action.
I'm gonna make a make a motion for a donation. That, I believe $5,000 was budgeted. I'm gonna make a motion to donate $4,000 at this time to the Park and Rec Department.
So you wanna, so your motion is
Is for $4,000 at this time.
I'll second that.
Now we discuss it, right?
It's been moved and seconded to donate $4,000 to the Village of Kamara Park and Rec.
And my reason for coming in with 4,000 is twofold. One, our mill rate was lowered by 12%. The second one is that 41% of the kids, according to the figures that I got, Mr. Lean, I think, about 41% of the kids in that Park and Rec program are town kids. The majority of, the bigger number are village kids, and then there's 122 kids that are listed as other. And Billy's not here, is he? I don't know where these other kids come from, if there are other municipalities involved, does he go to them for funding? Or are we I think the village gives 5,000, or has in the past, and we have. So, plus, we don't get a list of who's in there. We get some raw numbers. They were exactly the same for 2014, that he said they were at the budget meeting in 2013. I've got, going back several years, and we get back to 2012 and actual for 2013, and we're down to about 32% of the kids that are town kids. And I certainly don't object to the program, but at this time, I would suggest we give him $4,000 and ask him to please come in with names and, or at least addresses and numbers of kids from each address that actually participate.
Okay, so Bill can clarify if we can
Yes.
still give them the additional, because I requested some facts and figures and it was unclear, so
It's
we
very
can,
unclear.
okay.
So that's my motion, is $4,000 at this time.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to donate $4,000 to Village Park and Rec program.
Do you have to lower the donation, because at the budget it was 5,000?
No.
It was budgeted, that just means the amount up to.
It's still in the budget and it can still be paid.
And that budget number was set before the levy was lowered. It doesn't change it.
It's been moved and seconded to donate $4,000 with the option of adding an additional $1,000. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Report and update on the emergency management plan.
There's not too much to report, I'm working on it. By the next meeting, I should have an outline to give you guys. I'm working on it with Donna Hogan at the Emergency Management Department at the county. Item 5. So at any rate, we're working on getting an emergency management plan in place if we should have a disaster in the town that would affect the town. I'm not talking about individual residents, but like lots of trees on the roads or flooding or something like that. If we don't have an emergency management plan in place, it is very, very difficult to get state or federal funds to help us with it.
It's my understanding it's required by statute
It
also
is required by statute.
to have an emergency management plan for the township.
So, I think I would.
Does it help individual people also?
No.
It's not,
This is- no.
it's just for, basically for the town,
Exactly.
okay.
So, anyway, I will have a better report by the August meeting.
Okay, thank you. Discussion and action on segregated funds for the emergency management plan.
Let's just table that for now until the August meeting.
Okay. Discussion and action on authorization of contacting the town attorney.
I would like to make a motion that any member of the board who has a really good question to ask the attorney should be able to do so. Not something trivial or extraneous, but if you have a good reason to call him, I don't see that we should have to get permission from the chair to make a short phone call or something like that. In my case, working with the roads, things come up and I couldn't always get a hold of you, and I have to get a hold of them. I have to know something. So I would like that any member of the board could call the attorney with a good reason. And I'd like to make a motion on it.
Been moved and seconded that any board member can call the attorney with a good reason.
What's considered a good reason?
We want that clarified.
Something they need clarified like right away, and they can't call the towns association. And it's just like a specific question or whatever, but
Tom can use the judgment and tell us if
Yeah.
we're out of line.
they're grown-ups, they can decide if it's important. Right?
Right.
Sure.
Yep.
I think the whole idea here is for general questions, you want the WTA because they will give you general
Right.
answers.
Right.
When it comes to a specific application, that's where I could be of assistance, but only on a limited basis. I believe.
Correct.
So maybe is that a clarification enough?
Yes. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Discussion and action on,
Can I just clarify what you want on?
okay. Okay.
You wanted
It's-
any member of the board.
Any member of the board
Contact
can
the
contact
attorney with any reasonable.
with any reasonable, specific problem or question that can't be answered by the Towns Association. Discussion and action on revisiting the resolution on town bills, on how town bills are paid.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we go back and revisit the resolution number 98-3 and change them and replace them by the resolution that we have in front of us, where the clerk treasurer of the town shall present all bills and attend the checks from the general fund to the town board at the monthly meeting, and all bills must be approved by majority vote of the town supervisors before any bill is paid.
All bills?
All bills.
Is that motion?
Yes.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to replace resolution number 98-3 to a current resolution that requires the paying of all bills at the town board meeting after approval. Any further discussion? In favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Discussion on necessary legal notice publication. Recently, we've had a lot of meetings that needed to be posted and this and that, and we've gone to the Daily Union, it can be done on a 2-day notice. Whereas if it's Wednesday and you want to put something in the paper, you have to wait for the from our enterprise, and the deadline is like Saturday or Sunday or Monday, and then you won't get anything in the following week. So towns do not have an official publication, and I just like to notify people that all necessary legal notices will be published in the Jefferson Daily Union from now on. Public comment next, no one signed up. Pardon? Okay.
One other thing, with highways, I talked to Wolf this morning, or today, and they're planning on starting to work on Tamarack Road and Carlin Trail on the 6th of August. And there's another bicycle rally, the Best Damn Bike Ride is on the 2nd of August.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
So moving second to adjourn.
Wait a minute. Public comment? Anybody said that?
There is none.
Motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Yeah, so
And she adjusted them too tight, so they hurt my head. So then you take that.
So like,
Can I get your, I don't know what it is. I don't know, it's gonna cost me.
If we go ahead and introduce her this.
Remember saying that.
Oh, this is the new airport. That's the building. Done.
yes, sir.
Okay.
$795 down.
No, we don't.
That's probably not a final figure.
We send it like that, they send it back.
I had 2.4.
is that ours or? Is that the second back? It's not clear enough.
You can start by the
Why don't you just change it right now? You wanna go and can you change it right now?
Yeah.
Who has to sign it? Me?
All of you.
We all do.
We all have to sign it.
Let's have it right here.
And we can just. We can white it out and change it to sign.
Good to see you, Bobby. Hope you're doing all right.
This number is that number right there.
Yeah.
What is it supposed to be?
I don't know.
I'm not filmable.
I'm not looking at you.
Oh, good. Oh, and I'm not a part of the meeting.
Yeah, okay, who made the motion?
Oh, there's some here. It's not bad. Oh, he wants to rent that here?